you go, you've seen part of this program, and it's looking pretty exciting. All these things rolled together is actually a recipe for success, and it might sound like a corny thing, but it's very, very true. We've proven it. It's now a matter of history, the amount of success that we've actually had with this program. But how can you actually put a radio station together in your PCYC? What is required? How big a deal can it be? Well, you see this trusty table that I'm sitting at is part of a contoured studio that we actually built here at the Beenleigh PCYC. Guess what? Have a look again. That is actually a repainted old door. That's true. But it does the job. It does the job beautifully. We've actually got equipment on display. There's a tape player up there. It's a second-hand tape player from a second-hand shop valued at $35. Fair enough, it's sitting on a $350 CD player, but we had a $65 CD player there just before. Having a look around, we've got a mixer here. This mixer, well, it seems like it might be a pretty fancy thing, but you have a look. We got this from Tandy. This particular unit is about $190 to $200. We've got a computer behind us, got a mixing desk, and a variety of things. All in all, what you're looking at, including your transmitters, antennas, basic equipment to get this whole thing going, you could probably look at within the vicinity of $5,000 to $8,000 to get all the equipment that you need to set up the studio in your place and make it run. It is not that complex. If you could actually plug a complex stereo together, you go to the hi-fi shop and get a stereo. Now, sometimes they can be pretty hairy, to mention just a mild way of explaining some of the funny things that go on in the back of those stereos. But just imagine you get that stereo and you start plugging cables into it, and next thing you know, the speaker has the sound coming out of it. It's exactly the same, except we have a mixer with a microphone plugged into a computer as well. We also have all of that going through a cable which goes across our roof down to an antenna and a transmitter, obviously. It is relatively simple. What are we doing? Okay, well, we're looking at actually the feasibility of getting licenses in every PCYC general area. Now, obviously, there's a lot of these licenses that we have. Now, in terms, this is called a narrowcast. A narrowcast license is a license which is a license to broadcast to a limited area on a limit of appeal. What is that exactly, limited area? Well, down here we have literally a 10-kilometre diameter that we can actually broadcast to. Of course, what that does is it completely encompasses the primary and secondary market areas of the local community. But from our particular perspective, it is a good size radio station because it's dealing with the local community. And of course, this will be your primary and secondary market area too, people who live in and around your PCYC. These licenses have been snapped up when they were first made available from the ACA, actually snapped up very fast. Now, we're doing a check at the moment to find out where we might be able to sneak in a new license. And we're also looking at the possibility of acquiring licenses from other people. Now, this might not be completely possible. Well, if this is the case, we're looking at another option too. We're looking at the possibility of internet radio. How does that work? Well, it's very simple. Set yourself up a studio. You have your log-on times. You start doing your shows. It comes back to a focal point, and everybody puts a show to air. You saw earlier that we actually launched a school radio program that can be duplicated in your area through either your own FM radio station or internet radio from your premises. It's very easy to do. We've got the runs on the board. We've actually established the success of this program, which is overwhelming with the launch the launch function that you've already just seen. Putting this in your PCYC is not going to be a big deal. I can actually get significant instructions together to be able to let you, or anybody with a little bit of technical knowledge, put it in together and make it work. Now, what the big question is how are we going to run the programs? Very true. We want to actually duplicate, wherever possible, our successes here by doing exactly what we've done. Complete with work for the dole, young people's training classes, or a radio club run once a week at night time, and with the possibility down the track, maybe 6 months or a year down the track, of you also incorporating your schools into your PCYC radio station. We very carefully documented all phases of the development of this project, and as a result we have a training program put in place which can actually help everybody put this whole program in every PCYC. How would you manage it? Well, I was originally brought into this program as a work for the dole supervisor. My job was actually to get a group of young unemployed people and get them excited, train them about radio, and then run a regular radio show using their talents. hugely successful. How about we do the same at your place? I work for the Dole supervisor, is paid for his 2 or 3 days a week. That person will have radio experience. There's a lot of people around with radio experience who are dying for the chance to get back into radio or to be involved in charity and radio. We search out the possibility of getting people such as myself, people with an interest in radio who want to work with community as well, and we try and implement those people or put those people into place at your PCYC. Now you've got a way of managing a program exactly the same as what happened here. It's very exciting. We're rallying for support on this. Read between the lines, see the successes, see how we've actually done it, and if you have any questions you can email me. My email will be on the card that actually accompanied this CD. But realise that it could be a hugely popular program for your area, in particular obviously the youth. It can help spearhead your PCYC into the centre of all community activities. It's true, it's happened here. Just ask Sergeant Mark Duffy, he'll verify that immediately. Ask Owen Page, Inspector Owen Page, he'll verify that immediately too. So, if you'd like to be part of this program, I very, very much ask you to give me your support. This is a feasibility study. Obviously, we're looking at not only getting the licenses, getting internet radio, but we're also looking at the possibility of getting adopted by PCYC managers such as yourself. And if we can get these ingredients together, we're going to be successful. We're looking at doing it on a statewide basis. Maybe not all at once, maybe over a graduated period of time. If that's successful, we're looking at the possibility of doing it over a national basis. And the ramifications of that are huge. Just think of where the advantages may go. It's incredible. Please feel free, email me if you have any questions. A letter of support would be great, or an email of support would be great, because I compile all these together and submit them at the end of June to Inspector Owen Page with the results of my feasibility study. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to leave you with some scenes of our successes, scenes of the young people who've actually been through the program and some of the fun they've actually had, and the smiles, well, they will say it all. Thank you.